the power of my own heart and mind intimidates the ego within me. This is why I was like stopping my ability to visualize music and stuff, because I knew like entire universes, like, you know those videos of fractals, those endless fractals on YouTube. Those instantly created through the power of my heart and my mind when I'm visualizing music. Instantly. And this is how you see that you have the power to create your own realities. And it's this divine power. It's this godly sense that can be very intimidating to the one who may still see things with hierarchy. And yeah. So it's fascinating to like live with these two parts of myself, that the one that I know what it is, and that this power is a gift and everything, and that everyone has it, and that it's our birthright to be able to do these things and everything, and then the other one that's just for some reason uncomfortable with it. And I see now that there is no point to be uncomfortable with this, because it is me, and it's just yeah, it's just accepting that the power that all of us hold of creativity. It's it's amazing. I don't have a word to describe it. It's everything that I want. It's everything that I am. It's when love observes itself. That's what it is, and that's the fractaling effect of love. That's how all these fractals of this world are created, because when love observes itself, it duplicates. That's like it's the same thing with making babies, you know? When love observes itself, it makes more of itself. And that is the process of visualizing music for me, because it comes up here, I feel it, and then it goes through the perspective of my mind, which is capable of anything, because my mind is also, once you have love in your mind, it's doing that fractaling, observing itself, and it knows that it's capable of anything. And then the mind is going back and observing the heart that is feeling the music, and that feedback, that's what creates the fractals in my mind that are timed perfectly with the music, that are the music, that I can predict before my brain can predict the next part of the music is coming. This is the logical reason why love is the only thing that can create. It's like, it's evolution. It's when we were just thought and molecule in the first and second dimension, we went through every single possible emotion, every single reality, every single thing that we could ever be, and love is the only one that progressed. It's the only one that when it looked at itself, that's what yeah. Love is not some fantasy that's been dramatized by the media that two people feel for each other. It is everything. It is the currency of the universe. Yeah. Because if you think about it, money is just to get other people to do what you need them to do so you can survive. So money to get people to get me food, to get me shelter. Yeah. And it can be the same exact thing with love. Like, the money aspect part of it doesn't matter. You just need the other people to do this. You don't need the money. You just need the people. And we can exchange love directly from person to person. We don't need a machine to print out the money or a computer to write down digits of non-existent money to give to another. Like this and love will work tenfold, bazillionfold compared to money. Like this is what I mean when love is logic. It's not just faith. It makes sense even to the restrictions of how humans view the world. It makes sense to even us and our tiny little perspectives. It's yeah. We all need each other to survive. We don't need money. We need each other. So it's like, like think about the person that you love the most in this world and what you would do for that person. And then think about your boss who gives you money and what you would do for that person. Like, I don't know, that makes a lot of sense to me. So it's just like, love is currency. It is what we all want. It is the only norm. And we all know this. And the top dogs have found this out, and this is what is tried to be distracted from us, because we don't need any of it. We need the earth to live off of and a couple friends. So it's like, yeah, it's just old habits. The earth is working on old habits now because it knows this. Like, science has proven how love is the highest vibrating frequency and fear is the lowest and most densest. It's you can prove it with science too. There's other shit too, but it's just old habits because they think they still need to control us and things. But they're starting to see that they really don't. That you can't try to control evolution. It just happens naturally. And human behavior is evolution. All the shit that we've been through, all the fucked up things that we've done to each other and to this planet, are all necessary in a sense. It's natural. And I feel as I understand this, it's impossible for others not to. My heart feels raw. Feels like this part of it isn't used to being exposed. It feels amazing. It's like even when we're crying, even when we're in the deepest sorrow, that so much of us try to avoid, that still is connecting us to I can't explain that. There's some things I've gone so far. Like, many people won't consider me human in ways because what they see as suffering, I don't. Because of so many things. Because I've died and I've come back. Because I know we create our own reality, and just that I know that everything is love. And that's what it is. It's set up so it can't be explained, because I could easily be lying about this. I could, for whatever reason, be lying about love. Because you have no way of knowing. In the 3D world, you have no way of knowing or telling what I am saying is true or not. So that's why it's impossible for the truth to be ever communicated from one 3D human to another. Because there is no truth. There's just individual... The truth is where you are supposed to be right now on your spiritual path. But that's the truth for some other creature is completely different than yours. So it's set up that we have to go within ourselves because we can only explain it to ourselves. And if we're all talking about the same thing, if we all understand this, if we all understand this, but we can't talk about it, that proves how we are all connected. And I can see how that may not make sense to some, but yeah. It's only a matter of time until people see this. It doesn't even matter. Jeez, I mean it does, but it doesn't. You can just feel things changing though. I remember as a kid thinking, like, what the fuck is the point of money? The guy just... So he gets these other people to do what I need them to do so I can survive. So it's like, why can't we just be friends, you know? And that's exactly it. The child's mind is to be respected here because it hasn't been jaded yet from your past experiences, and then your past experiences saying, oh, this is the only way it can be, this is how it's always going to be, there's no hope for humanity. That when you tell yourself that is because you are afraid to step out of your comfort zone. You are afraid to see what is possible. Because you've been hurt. You see, it hurts you that the world runs off of something as primal and crude as money, and that we can't just do it off of love. So then, and your hope and your want for love to run the world, it hurts you to see that it isn't that. So then you give up on it, and you're just like, fuck it, I'm not going to even try anymore. This is the way it is, it's the only way, it's always going to be. And you see how that comes from emotional imbalance, not from truth, not from analyzation of, like, not from analyzing the fucking truth. It's jaded. It's immature behavior. Who are we to say what is possible? People do not understand what we are going to see with the internet. They can't, like, all the things that I talk about, the natives that I've talked to this about my ideas and stuff, they're like, oh, maybe in like 3,000 years, that's possible. They don't understand how much change has already happened within their lifespan because of the internet. The internet is the physical... the 3D is a form of the collective conscience. Like, you can believe that you can look at this... Like the internet is proof of how everything is connected. And we are already the computers. And we already have the ability to do this without the machines. And if the machines help us to get there to realize that, that's fucking great. But yeah, like, you feel that shit coming, yo. You feel this change coming. People don't want to believe in love because they've been hurt by it. They think they've been hurt by it. They think that it is the most innocent, childlike version of them that doesn't know anything. That's exactly it. There is nothing to know. The power of innocence. Because you create your own reality. So if that is what you believe in, that is what is real. Because this is only real because we believe it to be. There is no too good to be true. And this is something that I struggle with to understand. There is that phrase doesn't make sense when you know that you create your own reality. Why wouldn't you create every single thing that you've ever wanted? And that's what you do. What we always want is free will. And that is the process of coming to the 3D world. Having this much consciousness with this many choices that can affect this many things. But we're not going to block them and say, no, you have to love. You have to love. We have to let them see what happens when they don't love. For themselves, because everything is free choice. Everything, evolution is free will. It is choice. Whipping. So, it's, yeah. I can remember agreeing to go to this world and agreeing that I'm going to forget. And that I need to forget to realize that it is love. I can remember how we set it up in the beginning as love. That physical matter is love. And how I need to forget that to realize that. Because someone can't just tell me that. I need to see and realize and experience how that is truth. And that's another reason why no one can tell you this. I'm almost there on what I wanted to say there, like how I can remember. I wish I could express in words how I remember this feeling. It's every single story that ever existed. It's that what you were always searching for, you always had. It's the cliche ending to everything, but it's the most fucking satisfying thing ever because it is the most cliche. That's why. That's also something with the media and stuff. You know, the ego doesn't want to be lectured to over and over and over, so it gets bored by hearing the same lessons over and over. But guess what? You're gonna keep getting those lessons until you get it. They're no matter as cliche or unoriginal you think it is, like that has nothing to do with it. Today feels crazy. Today feels monumentous for some reason. Like, life is so amazing. It just comes whipping around. And it's hard for me to hold and to appreciate how amazing it is. But like, holy shit. I can feel that I've put so much of it together. And I can feel how this is affecting the world around me. This is why your own spiritual growth, don't even call it spiritual, your own balance, your own understanding of yourself is the most important thing, because as cliche as it is, outer peace will never happen until we have inner peace. Because once you have inner peace, you can see how every single person's, including me, our interactions with the external world are all caused by our perspective of ourselves. Because everything is us. So it's our responsibility to plant our seeds and to grow a healthy tree. It's like the thing, like, if everyone planted a tree on the planet, we wouldn't have to worry about shit. That's what this is. You take care of yourself. You master yourself, or whatever you want to call it. Like, I don't like calling it master, because that sounds like there should be something that you are. But it's just being genuine with yourself and being real with yourself. Not lying. You do that and you affect the entire world around you. Because our thoughts do predict the future, because here, you know how I was saying, like, the subconscious is on this deeper level, it's not right here, so we can't instantaneously affect this reality. It takes time for our thoughts to affect this reality. This is why concentration is key here, because everything is denser here, so it takes longer for our thoughts to be materialized. So you balance yourself, and then the world balances with you. Like, so all the billions of years before humans were here, billions of years is just a perspective. There was no human here to say, wow, this is taking a while. There was no human here to watch Earth being formed and being like, wow, when am I gonna, be able to, start my life already? All of that happened, or all of that happened for infinity. Time is just perspective. So, you see what I'm saying? It's like there is no... We're the ones that come down and say that, yeah, that took a while. Because we're comparing it to what we know. But time is just an idea. It's our perspective of the ebb and whatever the fuck, the push and pull, the ebb and flow, whatever it's called, I don't know. Of love, looking at itself and fractalizing and creating that flow. I don't know where I was getting at that, but yeah, so whatever, we just gotta concentrate on what we know to be true, and that it may take time, but probably not that long, to become reality. And it feels like humanity is just lingering, holding on to some old habits, but we see now that it is illogical. This is what ego death is. Realizing that we're not the only bit of consciousness in this reality, and that we have something to strive for. Depression comes from only focusing on yourself and thinking that, oh, how it's been is how it's going to be. There's no hope for me. And that's what happens from only focusing on yourself. Like, when I was feeling down, when I do feel down, you remember that there are people out there that are in much worse situations than you, that are 10 times happier than you. And that's what tells you that it's just your perspective that is doing this to you. So, and this is what humanity is suffering. Worldwide depression from only focusing on ourselves. We don't focus on the reality that we made. We focus on ourselves and our quarrels and our little dramatic fucking ego shit. And this is what causes it. Because we think how it's been is how it's always going to be. But for the ones on Earth, the indigos that tap into what is possible, that's why we're here. We're here to show what is possible. Because we remember. And the other ones just got a little bit lost. And they just need to be reminded. when you can relate the history of humanity to personality traits of yourself. That's like hardcore ego death on psychedelics. When you can feel how certain happenings, when you can remember how we chose fear instead of the love that Jesus chose us, that showed us. And how you can remember how I've almost let go of the part of me that knows that this is all real and just is having a hard time admitting it. And how I feel that humanity is almost there too. That it doesn't make logical sense to continue this system. Because we see that all we need is each other. And this is what the economy has done. We've built a system where we all need our participation. Like, okay, so I have some theories of why World War III will not happen. So if America was just to turn off one day, you blow up a huge chunk of it or all of it, or you have one of those EMP things that kill all of our electronics, what's going to happen to the rest of the world when America shuts down? It's going to shit itself. It's not going to know what the fuck to do. It's the entire balance of the economy is going to go fucked. It's going to get fucked. We've created a system where we all need our participation in it. And so, unless some crack job who doesn't see this and is so into his ego and is like, because there are people out there that absolutely hate America. It is their entire existence to hate us. Even they know, even if they could get their hands on nuclear weaponry and shit, like, and I'm not saying that there won't be smaller bombings and shit like that, but even they know that if they destroy America, they've thought, okay, what from there? They've thought, like, and, you can say, of course, you don't know that, you can't assume how you think is, that way, and I understand. I understand that. So I don't know. These are just my theories. But it's just like they use this fear of a post-apocalyptic something happening to keep certain things still in place, to make sure that, for America at least, that all these other countries that have our military support, to make sure that they still give us all this money and shit for our military resources. To make sure that we still have that our foot in there, our need to control. Because if they realize that nuclear war isn't realistic, then they'll be like, oh, so why are we paying all this fucking money to have these dudes protect us from nothing? It's fear that they're using against us. Like, I think the Cold War was, Russia and America wanted to blow the shit out of each other. But I mean, guess what happened, yo? Some fucking scientists, because we can measure how nuclear destruction has a huge impact on the entire universe. It has a huge impact. And we know this. And we can also measure where nuclear devastation has happened before because of this. So we can see what can happen from nuclear devastation. So it's like some scientist comes in, and this is why it was a standoff. This is why, because the thing that we fear more than each other is death. And we know that if we blow all of each other up, we have to go and face death. So our fear of death is what is going to unite us. So now it's old habits. They use this fear against us to keep these systems, these economic systems, still running because they think that they still need them. It takes a matter of bringing your instinctual feelings, your trusting your gut to politics. Using that, not getting lost in the mind, remembering what the original goal of politics is and what it is, and seeing it's so obvious, it's so blatant, right in front of your face. It's just like, it's just, yeah, trust your goddamn instincts. It's like no one is that stupid enough to be like, fuck that country! I'm gonna blow it up! Like, no one with the resources of being able to get enough bombs or a bomb and know how to launch it and know how to do all that shit and know not how to blow themselves up with it is stupid enough to not consider what will happen after they blow this country up. So the only thing we would have to fear is, the only thing that could lead to Earth's destruction, it has nothing to do with fear, is some, idiot getting his hands on a bomb and blowing himself up. And then that having a huge fucking, It's just, and we all know this and we don't really want to admit it to ourselves yet. You can feel how it's a game. That you can feel how governments know that authority is all an illusion in the mind. That there is no book or rules of the universe that we should follow. Only what is in here. And they use that feeling to say, listen to us. When it's really listen to yourself. So it's there are no rules. There are no rules. And that's what they don't want us to realize, is that we don't need anyone. We're all so desperate to have a daddy and mommy figure to tell us how to live, and that is every single human's need, trying to connect to their spiritual guides. And they look for it, they look for this guidance because we are children trying to explain to ourselves how we can exist right now, and that can be scary. So we look to religion or the government to handle these questions. But really, no one can explain it to you except yourself. It is the time of when the individual comes out. And through the individual, the collective is made. This is the problem with laws and rules, because you can't make anyone not do something unless you're going to put them in a cage for their entire life. There is no way of stopping someone from doing what you cannot. And even if they're in the cage, you cannot stop their thinking. You cannot stop another individual's way of thinking. And they know this. And they don't want us to remember this. No, I mean, they do actually. They just don't know that they know that. So it's like there is no one to guide you except yourself. Alright, battery's gonna die. I feel like we got on some really good shit today. Had a good time. It was mad fun. I'll be making another episode soon. And yeah, I wish you the best. Have a great day.